Now, you're not from these shores, are you?
No, I wasn't born here.
You weren't born here. Where exactly were you born, Chuck?
I was born in the Cayman Islands.
In the Cayman Islands. Now, that's a long time ago, isn't it?
Yes.
And you were in the Navy during the war.
Yes.
And while you were in the Cayman Islands, you met and married a local girl.
Yes.
And you had 5 children. Yes, you had Billy Jr., yes?
Yes.
Franklin?
Yes.
Joseph?
Yes.
Daughter Melrose?
Yes.
And also the baby of the bunch, Roosevelt. And you were still in the Navy, but when you were in the Navy, your marriage broke up.
Yes.
And that's when your wife at the time took all your children and went to live in America.
Yes.
Well, eventually you came to settle over here in Britain,
Yes.
and you met your lovely wife, Stella.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's
But you've
right.
never forgotten your children, have you?
No.
In fact, you've tried to find them.
Yes.
And the most astonishing thing happened last year when your lovely wife, Stella, went to Hackney Market. Is that right?
That's right.
And she was browsing through these second-hand books, and she picked up a book by Aaron Pitsey, is that
Aaron
right?
Pitsey.
And what was the book called? Yes, it was the Consul General's daughter.
Consul General daughter.
But it really wasn't the story that fascinated you, was
No,
it?
No, it was on the front page.
On the front page there was some dedications.
Yes, it was dedication.
And there was the name of a certain hotel.
Yeah, Tiara Hotel.
And then a name of a certain boy.
This is the name of Billy Bodden.
Yes. And that rang a bell, didn't it?
Yes.
More than rang a bell. It clanged in your ears.
I said it was either my son or my grandson.
Yes.
And my wife wrote off, and we got a telephone call the next Monday.
And it was your son,
It
Billy.
was my son.
So although you tried to find them in America, they weren't there all the time. They were back in the Cayman Islands.
right.
All 5 children.
Yes.
And you found out that now you've got, what is it, 15 grandchildren?
15 grandchildren.
And 5
great-grandchildren.
great-grandchildren. Oh, well, this is absolutely marvellous, isn't it, Billy?
Yes.
And I know it's been your greatest wish to return to the Caymans to visit all your family.
That's right.
Well, surprise, surprise, it just so happens there is a plane going to the Caymans in a few days' time, and we have got 2 tickets for you and your wife to go on that plane, and there they are, Bill. So you can see all your family. A nice surprise for Stella up there as well.
Yes.
And we thought, well, you know, just to make sure that you didn't miss that plane.
Yes.
Yes. Here are 3 of your sons to sit with you all the way. Yeah. Oh,
No.
yes. Oh, yes. You're Franklin, Joseph, and the baby of the bunch, Roosevelt, who you haven't even met. This is in 45 years. Come in, boys. Say hello to your dad. Super. Well, I've got a lovely surprise for somebody sitting right here in our audience tonight. Hello. Hello. Don't worry, sweetheart, it's not you. No, I'm looking for somebody here who's sitting with a friend. And yes, surprise, surprise, it's you, Eve Tregerthen. Yes. Oh, yes, it is. Would you like to come and join me on the sofa? I'll tell you all about it. Is it her fault? Well, all will be revealed when we go down to the sofa. Come on, Chuck. Now, Eve, I know an awful lot about you.
Oh, dear.
Yes, I really do. I do. Because you were born in New Zealand, weren't you? And 40 years ago, when you were just 18 months old, your mum and dad... I know, I've given your age away. I've given your age away, but we're the same age.
Right.
No, I've given my age away too, haven't I? But 40 years ago, when you were just 18 months old, your mum and dad split up, didn't they?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And eventually they put you up for adoption together with your older brother, who was just 3 then.
Something like that. Yes, I think the ages are about right, yeah.
Now, you were adopted, but your brother wasn't. Where did he go to?
From what I can gather, in the last few months, he spent time with his real father.
Yes.
Well, our real father.
And then he went to live with his grandmother.
And his grandmother.
And then he went on to boarding school.
Yeah, he spent time at boarding school and was thrown from pillar to post, I think.
Yes. In the meantime, you were with your adopted parents.
That's right, yes.
And they had a son.
That's right.
And because you were just a baby when you were adopted, you thought he was your real brother.
I thought he was my twin.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, they told me I was his twin. I was, in fact, a month older than he was, so they brought us up on his birthday.
Really? Well, when did you find out that you were actually adopted?
I was told when I was 18.
18? Well, that must have been a big shock for you.
It was, yeah.
Yes. And it was some years after that that you decided to come to live in England. In fact, you're now settled up. Are you up there in Lancashire?
Yes, in good old Bury.
In Bury, up there in Lancashire. And you've got no recollection at that time of your brother Gary, because you were just a baby. In fact, you didn't even know you had a brother, did you?
No, I didn't, but as a child I had a dream.
Did you?
Of playing with a boy, but it wasn't the boy that I grew up with. But
I believe this was a recurring
Yeah,
thing.
it happened many a time, and I mentioned it to my mum once, and it was silly.
Oh, really, really?
Yeah.
Well, that was probably your Gary, and you didn't...
I would imagine
You didn't
so.
realise it. Now, last year, you got a letter that changed your life completely. In fact, you were absolutely gobsmacked.
Yeah.
Who wrote this letter?
My adopted mum.
What did she say in it?
She said she'd had a phone call from a lady called Carol, who was, in fact, the wife of my real brother, and that's the first time that I was actually told that I had a real brother.
Really?
And
since then, you actually have spoken to your brother on the phone.
Spoken on the phone, yeah.
And you've written letters to each other. In fact, you never stopped ringing each other, apparently. And your friend Rita, you were right when you said it's her fault, because it was, because Rita wrote and told me all about it. And she told me that you've actually put your house up for sale, because you're that determined to see your Gary. Yeah. You want to buy a ticket out of the sale from your house to go and see him. Yeah. Well, you can take that for sale sign down, because you are tonight going to meet the brother who you've never met. We've flown him all the way over from New Zealand. Here he is, your Gary, with his wife, Carol. Come in, Gary.
Very New Zealand.
And then Rita up there. Enjoying it. The more the world. I said not so long ago that we've got a super surprise for a lovely fella sitting right here in our audience, didn't I? Hello. You look ever so worried.
Oh, I'm not.
You're not?
No.
Well, it's a good job, because I did say a fella, didn't I? Yes. Well, it's not you. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Tony.
Tony what?
Blake.
Tony Blake. Well, Tony Blake, you know... Well, we share a secret. We do share a secret, don't we? Yes, what's that secret then?
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. It really was for your mate, Tony Elsie, there. No, I'm not joking. I'm not really interested in you. It's actually you, Tony Blake, I'm interested in. Yes, come on, please come and join me on the sofa and bring your lovely wife, Lynette, with you. Lynette, come along, please. Down there. Lynette, make yourself comfortable. Well, I know an awful lot about you, Tony, because your wife, Lynette, here, wrote and told me all about you. Now, take your mind back to 30 years ago when you were serving in Cyprus, and you had your firstborn, a little daughter by the name of Dawn. And then your wife, sadly, 2 years later, your wife and you split up, didn't you?
Yeah.
And your wife brought Dawn back to England. And then a few months after that, Dawn's mother became very ill, and you had to leave the army, and you came back to England to look after Dawn, didn't you? Mm. And then the bills started building up and everything, so Dawn had to go and live with her grandparents, and you had to go and look for work. Now, I know everybody here at Surprise, Surprise, know you did your best to keep in touch and everything, but circumstances, no fault of your own, you completely lost touch, didn't you? Yeah. Yes. And how long is it since you've seen your Dawn?
About 14 years.
About 14 years. Well, surprise, surprise. You're going to see her again tonight. We have found your daughter, Dawn. She's right behind those screens, waiting to give you a big hug. And here she is. Come in, Dawn. Come and say hello to your dad. Hello, Mary. Thank you for organising this party. Introduce me. Who are you? Any relatives with you tonight?
Yeah, this is my sister, Katie Bradley.
Hiya, Katie.
And my brother... Thank you. Very well.
Oh, lovely. And your brother?
And my brother, Patrick Knight.
Hello, Stuart.
Hello. Oh, hey, I like him, Mary. I could have some of that. Oh, yes. Oh, all three of you, come down and join me for a chat. Come on, gang. Yeah, you sit over there next to Katie there, just fill up the space.
Right, I'll do that.
Well, is this the first time you've been on television?
Yes.
Have you enjoyed the show so far?
Beautiful.
Oh, isn't it nice? Well, you belong to a big family, don't you?
Yeah.
I suppose you're wondering what...
There.
Eh?
We have another sister up there.
Your another sister up there. Where is she? What's her name?
And
Anne, come down, Anne. Anne, I didn't know you had another sister. Anne, come here, say hello, Chuck. Hello, sit next over there to your Mary. And what did you say?
My brother Martin.
Oh, gosh, there's another... There's another brother Martin. Where are you, Martin, Chuck? Oh, Martin, come on, keep your Patrick company. The more, the merrier. Hello, sweetheart. You sit next to your Patrick. Can you make room for him on the end? Oh, isn't that lovely? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mind you. But you're a big family. Actually, there are 6 of you in your family, isn't there? And you're a very, very close family, aren't you?
That's right.
yeah.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
Now, there's one exception. There's one missing tonight, isn't there? Who's that, Katie?
Brother.
Patrick?
Oh, brother in Greece.
Brother.
You're Edward.
Edward.
In Greece.
In Greece.
It's in Greece.
Yeah.
Now, you're Edward. He's been in Greece since the last war, hasn't he? He was wounded.
Yes, he was wounded, yeah.
Yes. And he was sent to Greece to recuperate, wasn't he? And that's where he met and married a beautiful Greek girl.
Yes.
Yes. So you haven't seen him for 30 years, over 30 years?
No, I haven't.
Well, surprise, surprise.
Oh,
You're
Don't
going to
tell
see
me
him tonight.
here.
Oh, he is. Don't you wish you would have put your teeth in now? Katie, to make up your very special family, because you're all so lovely, here he is, all the way from Greece. Your brother Edward, after 30 years. Come in, Edward. And that completes the family, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'd better take a break there. We'll see you all in a couple of minutes. Isn't this lovely? Pal of my cradle day. That's lovely. I've needed you always. Since I was a baby upon your knee, you sacrificed everything for me. I stole the gold from your hand. I found the silver thread there. I don't know any way I could ever repay how my cradle Well, now we are going to turn our studio cameras here right on to you in the audience because we want all our viewers at home to see how gorgeous you look. Yes. And there they go. The cameras are on. Mick, could you go right at the back? Because we always miss out people up there at the back. Yeah, oh, that lovely lady there. Yes. Oh, I love that spotted outfit. I thought you had an illness from me. I did. Welcome to Surprise, Surprise. Can we move down a bit now, Mick? Yes. Lovely lady there in purple. Hello. Got a gorgeous smile. Oh, a bit further down. Oh, come down a bit, Mick. Come. Oh, look at it. Oh, I like you. Yes. Oh, well, hasn't he got a gorgeous smile? Give us a wave, then. What's your name?
Frank Berry.
Pardon? Frank?
Sure, Frank Berry.
Can't hear you, Chuck. I know your name's Frank. I can't get the last name, but...
Berry, B-R-Y.
I can't spell either. Come down and tell me all about... Tell me your real name. Come on, Frank. Oh, it's a grand night. Let's have a sit down there. Well, Frank,
What a job this, isn't it?
It is a job. Oh, I enjoy it, though. Have you been enjoying yourself out there?
I have indeed, yes. It's brilliant, yes.
Now, I caught your first name, Frank. But
Berry.
Oh, Frank Berry, because you sort of spelt it out, too.
That's right, yes. B-R-Y.
Yeah. Now, you're married, Frank. You're here, I believe, with your lovely wife, Sue.
That's right, yes, I am, yes.
Is that
yes.
right? Well,
Indeed, yes.
And you've got two gorgeous children. What's their names?
Elise and Christina.
Oh, super. Well, I must tell you, surprise, surprise, I've had a lovely letter telling me all about you.
Oh, that's nice.
From your... Yes, from your cousin, Peggy.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Now, just to be serious just for a minute, Frank, 20 years ago, your first marriage, you were married, and then it broke up, didn't it?
Yes, it did, yes.
And you've got two older daughters, haven't
Oh,
you?
yes, yes.
How old are they?
Oh, God, one's 31.
Yes.
And one's 29.
That's Penny and Melanie,
That's
isn't
right,
it?
yes.
And when your marriage did split up, you still adored your children. In fact, you went every week to visit them. And then one weekend you turned up, and they weren't there. They were gone. What happened to them? Where did they go?
They went to America. I went to call for them on the Wednesday. I visit them quite often. And they'd gone. They'd just vanished. You know. I found out where my ex-wife worked and said, oh, don't you know your children have been taken away to America to live?
And that was 16 years ago.
Oh, a bit more, I think.
Yes, so Penny and Melanie, they're married now, and they've got...
That's right, children,
Children of their own. They've got 5 grandchildren between
That's right, 5 grandchildren, yes.
who you've never, ever seen.
Never, ever seen, no.
Well, surprise, surprise,
Oh,
Frank.
God,
You're going to
you're
see them
joking.
all tonight because here they are. Your 2 daughters you haven't seen for 16 years and your 5 grandchildren. Come in, Penny, Melanie, yes, your son-in-law, Joe. Come in, kids, Chrissy and Davy, Jojo, John and Jason. Come in, everyone. The more the world is changing, the more it stays the same. Life is full of small surprises. It's a never-ending game. If nothing is impossible when you believe your eyes, if the unexpected brings a smile, that's a big surprise, surprise, surprise. The unexpected hits you between the eyes. The unpredictable, that's the surprise you see. Surprise, surprise. Well, that's all we've got time for this week. But we will be back next week with... Babe, where are you? Give us a wave. Bob, would you like to come and join me, sweetheart, and bring your lovely wife, Mary, with you? Come down. Super to see you, Mary. Lovely.
Thank
I
you.
want to sit next to Bob. Bob, you sit, sit
on,
next to me. And Mary, you sit next to your lovely husband, Bob. Yes, well, it was your Carol who wrote and told me all about you, you know.
Certainly when I get home.
It was a lovely letter. I want to take you back, actually, to the war years. Now, you were in that lovely regiment, the Royal Northumberland Fusiliers, and you were actually captured during the war, weren't you?
Yeah,
Now, where exactly were you captured?
in the desert.
In the desert?
Yeah.
What country?
Well, near Libya, around that area.
Yes. But then you were transferred from there.
To Italy.
Pardon?
Italy, when I got captured.
Oh, northern Italy. That's when
Yeah.
they sent you to northern Italy,
Yeah.
where you were a prisoner of war, obviously.
Yeah.
But they released you in Italy, didn't you? Now, why was that?
Well, when the ITIs packed in, capitulated, put it that way.
When they capitulated.
Yeah, capitulated, yeah, ITIs.
That's when you crossed the border into
Yeah,
Switzerland.
with a guide, yeah.
And you were put in an internee camp over there.
Yeah.
But they let you have holidays, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
And they put you with English-speaking families.
Yeah,
Now, can you remember the family that you were put?
yeah.
What were the names?
Llewellyns.
The Llewellyns.
Yeah, Billy Llewellyn.
Billy Llewellyn.
That's their son now. The mother and father died a while back.
Oh, obviously, yes. But you had a super time there. I believe you only stayed there for about 10 days, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But when you came back to England, you continued the friendship because you wrote to them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
In fact, Mary here, you still write.
I still write
You
to
do
them,
most of the
yes,
writing
yes.
today, don't you?
Yes.
Now, we're talking about over 45
Oh,
years
yes,
ago.
yes.
And you've never ever seen them,
No.
only on photographs.
No,
You've never even spoken to them on the
No.
phone, Bob, have
I
you?
have no phone now.
And that was young Willie Llewellyn.
Yes,
Llewellyn,
yes.
Well, surprise, surprise, you're going to see them
I
tonight.
know.
Oh, yes, because they're right here after 45 years. All that writing is all paid off. Here they are. Here's Willie Llewellyn, plus his lovely wife, Anne, as she likes to be
that's right.
called. Come in, Willie and Anne. Let's see.
I've never seen them. I've never met them.
Thank you, Cilla.
Isn't this gorgeous? All right, Bob. Isn't this a fabulous reunion?
Oh, it's
Fabulous
fabulous.
room, fabulous surprise,
Yeah,
I know.
just
Ah, what a
fantastic,
what a,
lovely.
It's unique
Yes,
in life.
it's nice to see you.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And may you write to each other for the next
we will.
45 years.
Yes,
That's so nice, Mary.
yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Cilla.
Oh, isn't that lovely? I think we better take a break there. See you in a couple of minutes. Oh, Judith Flynn. Judith Flynn, where are you, sweetheart? Hello, Judith. Now, Judith, you wrote me a lovely letter about a lady sitting not too far away from you. In fact, she's sitting right next door to you, isn't she? Yes. Surprise, surprise, Linda Carter, it's you. Yes, Chucky Egg, come down and join me, please. I'll tell you all about it. Come and join me. Linda, have a sit down there, make yourself comfortable. Now, as I've said, this is all Judith's fault up there because she wrote the most heartwarming letter about you. Tell me all about you. She tells me that about 20 years ago, maybe a little bit over there, when you were just 16 years old, your mum told you who your real father was. Now, he was an American serviceman, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Now, that must have come as a very big shock to you, sweetheart.
Well,
A bombshell, really, yes. His name was Ralph Jones, and he served over here, well, just outside Oxford. He was stationed there, but unfortunately, he was posted back to America before you were born. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yes, and although you were brought up by a very loving family, I mean, your stepdad was absolutely marvellous, you always had this hankering to meet your real dad, didn't you? And you've tried so for many, many years, and to the point of fact that you put an advert in an American newspaper, is that right?
Yeah.
What was in this advert, can you remember?
It was just anybody knowing the whereabouts
Of Ralph Jones.
of what now.
And to your great surprise, you got a reply from America. The stamp was there, there was the envelope, but you couldn't open it, could you? What did you do with that letter?
I took it round to Judith's to read for me.
You took it round to our Judith to open because she was so terrified what you might find inside. And indeed, surprise, surprise, it was from your dad, Ralph Jones. Well, back in 1989, you got the most marvellous phone call on Christmas Day, and it was from your dad, wasn't it? You spoke, well, that must have been ever so exciting. You also found out that you had a grandmother as well that you'd never ever met as well. Now, I know since then you've spoke many times and you've been trying to work out how the heck you're going to get together.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be possible.
Oh, it is possible, Linda. Surprise, surprise. Not only is your dad here tonight, but your grandmum, Nellie, as well. They're waiting just to come on to say hello. Come in, Ralph. Come in, Nellie. Here they are. I'm so pleased. Well, now it's time for something a little different. Tonight we're going to have a live satellite link-up with Sydney, Australia. But before we go to the satellite, I need two people sitting right here in our audience to come and join me. Two sisters, in fact. Yes, surprise, surprise, it's you, Pat Stathan and Jan Hopkins. Come on, Pat. Come on, Jan. Please come and join me. Jan. Yeah. Hello, Jan. Hello, Pat. Welcome to Surprise, Surprise. Jan, will you sit next to me and Pat? Right. You sit next to your sister. Now, I have to tell everybody, Jan here wrote me the most marvellous, moving letter. This is a surprise to you. Tell me all about you girls. Now, take your mind back, well, it was 36. You wrote to me and told me 36 years ago, when you two girls here were very, very young, your mum became, well, quite ill with cancer. Mm-hmm. So much so that, well, your sister here, and indeed your other sister, and your two elder brothers, Peter and Tony, were put into care. You were sent to homes, weren't you? Yeah, sure. Well, then 3 years later, after your mother recovered, your mother took the girls back. But by this time, of course, your two brothers, Peter and Tony, had already been sent by Bernardo's to live in Australia.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, your mother obviously kept in touch with the lads, and when your Tony was 18, your mother phoned him up, got in touch with him and said, find us a big house, because we're all coming over, we're going to emigrate over there, we're going to be one big happy family again. And then, when she went for a medical, the tragic news came that not only she couldn't pass the medical, but the cancer did return, didn't it?
Yeah, that's sure.
And she had to phone Tony again, or write to Tony, contact him, and say, well, we can't come over. But the thing is, she couldn't bear to tell him the reason why. Anyway, sadly, your mum died, and a few years later, when your Peter found out the real reason why you all couldn't go over there, he contacted you, and that's the whole reason why you two girls are here tonight, because you're going to speak to your brothers, hopefully, in Sydney, Australia. And with a bit of luck, they should be coming on the screen right now, hopefully. And there they are. Hello, lads.
Hi, Cilla.
Now, please tell me, introduce me, which one's Tony and which one's Peter?
I'm Tony. Cilla.
Hi, Tony.
I'm Peter.
And hi, Peter. Well, there they are, girls. Jan, isn't it lovely to see the lads again?
Can you see us?
Pardon?
Can they see us?
Well, ask him.
Can you see us? Yeah.
Yeah, my word.
Hello.
How are you?
We're fine, yeah. How are you?
How's all the families?
Fine.
I think Pat's completely gobsmacked over here, lads. But you know, this is a very late night for them, or an early morning. I mean, what time is it there, boys?
Oh, nearly 6.
How are you both? How is everything?
Oh, fine. Family's well.
Yeah.
How's your family?
Yes, they're all getting on okay, fine.
Good.
How are the girls? How are they all?
Oh, they're fine. You know, coping.
Gosh, this is all very daunting as well, isn't it? All those miles and miles away, it's quite amazing. I know Pat is just sitting there. I know it was all kept a secret from you, Pat. But just think, I mean, this is 12,000 miles away, these boys are, and I think they look ever so well. Now, talking the few words that you did say on the satellite there, I mean, it sounded as if that they really were just round the corner speaking to you.
Yeah.
Well, surprise, surprise, they are. I can't stand this any longer. They're here from Australia. Here's your brothers, Tony and Peter. Come in, lads.
The more the world is changing, the more it stays the same. Life is full of small surprises. It's a never-ending game. If nothing is impossible, will you believe your eyes? If the eye...
Never guess who was... Thank you. Well, now, sitting somewhere in our audience are twin sisters. Yes, surprise, surprise. It's you, Margaret Cooper, and Anna Gubb. Where are you, sweethearts? Come on, sweethearts. Come and join me on the sofa. Have I got a surprise for you? Margaret, sweetheart. Have a sit down there. Now, it's Anna, but you like to be called Anna, I believe. Is that right? Anna, hi, Anna. Sit down to your twin sister there. Oh, you do look alike. And you owe all this business here to your husband, Margaret, your husband, Ray. Yes, he's here. He wrote and told me all about you, and it's a very heartwarming. It broke my heart when I read it, actually, the letter, because when you were just a few weeks old, your parents had to make a very, very difficult decision. Because of dire circumstances that they were in, they had to put you up for adoption. But one thing that your mum did stipulate is that, well, you know, you had to be adopted together. She wouldn't allow them to split you up. And indeed, you were adopted by a very loving family, who, when you were old enough to understand, they did tell you were adopted. Is that right? And that prompted you both. You thought, well, I want to find me mum and dad, so you got your birth certificates and you found out exactly who your mum and dad were. Now, what are the names?
Lorna and Henry. James Walbridge.
Lorna and Henry?
James Walbridge.
James Walbridge. Now, Walbridge is a Guernsey name, isn't it? And what did you do then, Margaret?
We phoned up all the Walbridges in Guernsey.
You've literally got the phone book in Guernsey and you phoned up all the Walbridges.
All the Walbridges we could find. And then actually a friend helped me called Tina, and she did the speaking, and she spoke to, I think it was my Auntie Jackie, who was my dad's sister.
Yes, your Auntie Jackie, and she revealed an awful lot to you, didn't she? Yeah. She said that, well, you were quite disappointed because your parents had emigrated to Australia, hadn't they? But the good news was that you did find out you had a sister, didn't you? Yeah. Cherie. And then later on you found out, sadly, that your dad had died in 1978. But that didn't stop you. You got in touch with your mum, and she was absolutely thrilled to bits. I mean, she was wishing that you would get in touch, because as you know, when you put children up for adoption, they can't find you. And she was so thrilled that you found her, and you've written to her over the years, and you've even spoken to her on the phone, but you've never ever met. But I know it's very important. Ray told me it was very important to you now because she has health problems with her eyesight. Yes.
She can't even write back now.
Can't
she? See.
Well, she doesn't have to write back, girls, because we've flown her all the way over from Australia to be with you tonight, and you're going to meet your sister for the first time. Here she is, your mother, Lorna, and your Cherie. Come in, Lorna and Cherie. Look, and don't you look like...
Full of small surprises, it's a never-ending game. If nothing is impossible when you believe your eyes, if the unexpected brings a smile, that's a big surprise, surprise, surprise. The unexpected hits you between the eyes. The unpredictable, that's the surprise you see.
Well, everyone, we've come to the end of another show, and indeed the end of the series. We hope you've enjoyed watching them as much as we've enjoyed making them. I'd like to thank everybody who's appeared on tonight's show, and indeed all our shows, especially Gordon Burns, and of course the lovely Bob Cowgies. Thanks for watching. Good night. God bless. Ta-ra then. Ta-ra.
The next Friday at 8 o'clock, a new comedy series, Second Thoughts, followed at 8:30 by more comedy in the return of The Piglet Files.